Now let's jump into the symbolism of your strategy.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not claiming it is your strategy. I'm asking whether it is. The subliminal messaging. The July unrest happened in KZN on the 9th of July. Is your choice to do the press briefing in July the 6th in KZN part of the strategy?
No, negative is not.
Coincidental.
Coincidental, the briefing on the 6th is informed by the relief we get as a team from the National Commissioner when he deposed of an affidavit or a statement under oath that says, I did not authorize this criminal act of removing dockets and stopping the investigation and so forth. He gave me that on the 4th of July in Pretoria. So then I must travel back to KZN where I must register this case. The 5th of July is a Friday. No, I beg your pardon, the 4th of July is a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I traveled back to KZN. The Saturday is the 5th of July. Now, majority of the honorable members love to come to Durban in July. The government of KZN wouldn't want any disturbance of their tourists when they are in the province in July. So I had to respect that on the 5th of July, when I wanted to address South Africans, I must not do that in order not to disrupt here on one side, but on the other side, more importantly, I want the sober citizen to listen to me. So when I talk to them on the Saturday, they are drunk, most of them, because of what's happening in Durban. So let me not get there on Saturday. And so I call for this gathering to happen on Saturday, and knowing for a fact that they will have woken up just when they are getting their papalas sorted out, I will clear their papalas with this message. And indeed, it reached out, it made them sober.
It definitely did. That was a master stroke.
Thank you, sir.
Now, in the apartheid struggle, what did the letters MK stand for? When it relates to the military wing of the revolution against apartheid.
I think it's similar to the one of the political parties that are here in the House of Parliament. It represents the same thing.
What is that?
The military wing of a political party.
What does MK refer to?
Mkhonto weSizwe.
We are still dealing with subliminal messaging. You
Yes.
must help me. Is it true that you used your initials in your witness statement to us for easy reference? NSM, Nhlanhla Sibusiso Mkhwanazi. Is it true?
That is correct, although I did not choose those initials. It's the evidence leaders that decided on those initials. It was not much similar with Madlanga. I did not choose the initials used.
Very interesting, because I wanted to understand. You must now tell me who. For easy reference, in the Madlanga Commission, instead of your initials NSM, it is MK. So I wanted to understand, was it you? You now say it was someone else. Do you know why?
Well, I did not ask them. The evidence leader there is the senior counsel, Molapi, that can be able to assist in explaining how they came about that. Same as this one. Senior counsel is right here in front in front of us, they can be able to explain how it came about. The coincident, honorable chair members, maybe that I can tell you. Yes, I was born in, some of you know Maritzburg, the township. There's a rural area next to Maritzburg called Kwampumuza. That's where I was born. And I grew up in Ashdown Township, as well as in Bentley, a rural area. Ashdown Township, when the fight between IFP and ANC was strong, UDF, it happened in the township. During the day, you pass each other greeting. When the sun goes down, you become enemies. You can't be on the street, you get killed. So the violence was that rough at the time. So when my parents felt that the violence is this rough, they'll ship me to the rural areas in Bentley so that I'm protected from this. And when it's a bit quiet, they'll bring me back. So I ended up changing a lot of schools as I grew up because of that, moving up and down. So I was not necessarily drawn into the politics of things, although there were friends that I lost that I knew at the time, but I was always protected and removed from that. So I never got to be exposed much into what was happening in terms of the violence. Yes, I knew about the MK. We study history at school and we learn about things and we see things. And then I happened to join the service, joining at the dawn of democracy. When I joined, I went to the college on the 22nd of June, 1993. When I finished training, I was deployed in Port Shepstone. I started in December. We arrived there in December, middle of the night in Port Shepstone, and I started working there. The Port Shepstone was dominated by, in the main, IFP, which honorable member spoke about earlier in relation to the homelands that were there in the past. So was Zulu police had armed IFP members with a lot of guns, be it Nduna is given a gun, be it a protector of the Nduna, he has a gun, and many others. Honorable Mngango might maybe share more details about some of it. But there were too many firearms that the IFP, that the IFP members were in position of. So here I am arriving here and I'm given a task to ensure that there is public order, there is safety. So we arrived and I work for the unit internal stability. And when I get into this unit, I'm confronted, as I experienced when I arrived in Pretoria, in the same room we sleep with the Tsonga speakers, the Pedi speakers. I had no clue about how even to greet in those languages. So I had to adjust there. You get people that end up giving nicknames because it's difficult for them to pronounce your name. Same thing happened in Port Shepstone when I arrived there. One of my commanders, a white guy, could not pronounce Mkhwanazi. Even today, majority of the members in this house, if I ask them to pronounce Mkhwanazi, they will put an A after M. They will say Mkhwanazi, and there's no A, it's Mkhwanazi, MKH. So because of that struggle of pronunciation, he chose the shortcut. He just called me MK. And I'm brand new at the unit. It is December 1993. This unit were camouflage. And in few months down the line, in April, the African National Congress win elections. And here comes this young man dressed in camouflage and is confronted with a situation on the ground where the IFP, majority of them are in the half of the village of the ANC people. This group of about 20 boys of ANC, unarmed, that are confronted by this group of IFP with guns. And one had to act. Unfortunately, my action angered my commanders because my action was against the IFP leadership that were already in the territory of the ANC people without taking political sides. So they got to know me. They got to know that person caused this problem and it caused one of the IFP person to be injured at the time through my action. And then fast forward a few months later, I happened to be in another gathering where a similar fight is happening, area of Tsilima, Mvuchini, in those areas. And when we are there, and I'm sitting in this police car in Nyala, I'm not getting out because the place is crowded. I decided to sit inside. I opened the hatch on top and I was standing there. The doors are closed. One of the members asked me to open the door because he wanted to get inside the car. He made a mistake. He's a white guy again. He calls me with a nickname in the center of the IFP, armed people. So he called me by nickname, a nickname that when it's pronounced in such a setting, The people on the ground don't believe that it is initials of your surname. They believe that you are a member of a political party. He said, MK, please open the door for me. Everyone else turned around to look at this MK, and they saw me. And others identify me as a person who has caused trouble a couple of months back. They all came in numbers to that car. I will not explain how I responded to it, but I responded to stay alive. But from that day, I was banned from working in the IFPA area in Potchefstroom by my command.
Now,
Because of the first initials of my surname, MK. So they associate me with them controversies. It branded me bad.
now, that could have been a repeat in terms of perception by looking at the files. And I, for one, am very happy that there's no connection. And it is clear that it's not even part of the strategy, the use of the name MK or the letters MK. Mr. Musa Wenkosi